Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go. Episode number 84 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Bobby Puckett. Here with me in studio is Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, Bobby. What about you?
Well, we're going to kind of let people know because we pull back the curtain a little bit. This is a pre-recorded episode.
Yeah.
We're going to have a couple of pre-recorded episodes. When you get this, you'll already know. But this is a pre-recorded episode, so we won't have no results for the week. But we've got plenty to talk about, so we'll just go that way. And we still got our interviews and all that stuff, and we're still going to do the midweek slider, and it's just You'll understand when we get to that point.
Yeah.
But episode number 84, our guest for the week is the young phenom out of North Vernon, Indiana, Parker Perry. Actually, it turned into the whole Perry family.
Yeah.
Had a couple of brothers set in on the interview as well. And I don't know if we can talk about it yet because we were testing, or not we, I wasn't part of the test. But they were testing the youngest brother, Paxton. He's making his first big mini sprint debut. He's old enough to run the restricted. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah.
But they were testing at a track, an event coming up. So they said, don't say the name of the track, but if you want to tell everybody, use it at the racetrack when we did the interview. But it was a good time, though.
Yeah.
All the kids out there giving each other crap. And got Steve Parker kind of being, older brother / coach, giving younger brothers a hard time. So it was a good time. I know we sound like a broken record when we say this, but please take care of the people that take care of us. This week's show being brought to you by Diesel Boys, LLC. If you're in the Kentuckiana area and you got any diesel truck problems whatsoever, reach out to Brandon Hooker and Diesel Boys, LLC. They will get you taken care of. Our deep dive is being brought to you by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. If you got any type of automotive clutch that you need work done, farm tractor, small car, big trucks, whatever you need, Chris and the guys at Kentucky Clutch can get you taken care of. And our slider of the week being brought to you by Walt Speed Decals, which we're not really going to have a slider of the week this week.
Yeah.
But still, great sponsor of the show. So our slider of the week is going to be Kurt and I for figuring out how to make all this stuff work while I'm in Alaska.
Yeah.
so the slider of the week is going to be pat on the back to us.
That's going to be you mostly.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get it done now.
Yes.
But if you need any vinyl work done, reach out to Walt SB Decals. Our crash of the week is going to be the same thing. Our crash of the week is probably going to be something that, because I promise I'm probably going to have some kind of loading issue at one of the ports
Probably going to be a computer crash of the week.
Yeah, the crash of the week is probably going to be the laptop I'm looking at right now. But that is brought to you by D.O. Handyman Remodeling. If you got any handyman work that you need done around the house, reach out to David. Don't reach out to David right now. Reach out to him and schedule it for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because when this is out, David just had his procedure.
Yeah.
So, as you can tell, we're not real good at recording for the future.
Right.
We're not professionals yet by any means. But if you need anything done around the house, reach out to David at 812-989-5002. Our racetrack spotlight being brought to you by JT's Trackside Catering, which we can do a racetrack spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
So we can do that because we can talk about any racetrack in the country. And I guess we can actually talk about a crash, too, that happened months back or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you need any catering done, no event too big or too small, reach out to Jeremy Thomas. He does them all. I told Jeremy, I said, you're going to have to put that on a shirt or something, man.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm going to have to get with the Angry Ducks guy.
Yeah, because he's the one that takes care of all his stuff.
He said, he takes care of my gear. I said, well, get with him. But if you need anything, Jeremy can get you taken care of. And I can speak for this. Everything that he has is beyond good.
Oh, yeah, I can too.
Haven't had anything bad yet.
Had his stuff at my party, Thunder Party, and everything was great. So,
and our question of the week being brought to you by Bandit Race Cars. If you need any shock work done, Brian Barber is a Fox Shock representative. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
But here in a couple...
That is kind of tricky, though.
It is a little tricky. But here in a few weeks, I might... Actually, I won't be able to say it for a few weeks. I'm probably going to start all back over.
Yeah.
But if you need any Fox Shocks works done for late model, modified, micro sprint car, street stock, it doesn't matter. Brian can get you taken care of. So reach out to Bandit Race Cars. And I tell people to reach out to Bandit Race Cars. So reach out to him on Facebook. That's the easiest way to get to him.
Yeah.
I had a guy message me and I sent him his number and I was like, yeah, I probably should tell people how to reach out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, reach out to Brian Barber and he will get you taken care of. our Pound the Cushion segment, which, yes, we're going to have a Pound the Cushion segment still, too, while I'm gone. We think.
Yeah.
We're going to record them. I don't know if we're going to get them out. But that is being brought to you by racingdirt.com. If you need some more streaming stuff, as the wind chimes are going off crazy.
Yeah.
If you need some more streaming to check out, they cover every USMTS race, all the American racer modified stuff out in the Midwest. So reach out to Trenton Berry and Racing Dirt. They will get you taken care of. And if you're in the Kentuckiana area and you need any lawn care done, reach out to HCC Lawn Care. They take care of my yard, which I got plenty of it here. But they'll come out and get you taken care of. And you know, Ben does a great job. All right, Flash.
Yeah.
I'm about to send James a message. 6-car heat races on a 5/8 mile racetrack, that's not acceptable.
That's not cutting it.
That's so. Hey, Rigsby. Okay, here we go. But see, this is gonna be a few weeks out, so they'll already be mad at somebody else.
Yeah.
We're doing it live time.
Yeah.
Rigsby, for somebody who really wants to get the show within 2 hours, how about if we got 26 cars, we run 3 damn heat races?
Yeah.
Instead of 4 6-car heat races, because somebody broke and didn't make it. All right, that's my soapbox.
Yeah.
So, but if you need your grass cut, reach out to Ben Harmon at HCC Lawn Care. All right, Flash. Now we got all that taken care of. This is funny. I'm going to go ahead and put this out right now. Somebody asked me the other day, goes, where do you guys do the podcast at? You got a studio? I said, oh, yeah, we got a studio.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we got a nice studio. He said, oh, for real? I'd like to come check it out. I said, well, have you seen it? Have you seen it before? I've never seen your podcast studio. I said, yeah, the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I'm like, yeah. So if people really wanted a behind the scenes look, we probably do need to do like the GoPro thing one time. People get behind the scenes, right? Because you would be absolutely shocked that this damn thing comes out every week.
Yeah.
Like, we said that just kind of as a joke to begin with, but it's really not a joke. Like, every week I'm like, okay, let's hope it gets out again this week. As I'm looking down and making sure we're still recording, we got TVs on, and maybe, I don't know, the weather's nice, and as you can tell, my allergies are a little messed up. So we got the windows open.
We just had to pause the podcast so he could go take down the wind chimes.
The wind chimes.
So much noise.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard them, but in the headphones, it sounded like they was in a cannon.
Yeah.
So yeah, the moniker continues. We're the traveling roadshow, and we're the most unprofessional professionals.
Yeah.
News of the week. The news / hot topics. It's been going around Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, racing world. Car counts and special events. So we're gonna give our 2 cents on that.
They're all special events, ain't they?
Everything is. Yeah. Every event's special anymore.
It's a memorial and a special event,
everything. So we're gonna give.
It's special. You notice with the new AI stuff that everybody can make their own ads for Facebook now. Everything looks like it's a.
Yeah, everything's a big
it's
event.
Cool.
Yeah, everything's a big event.
Yeah.
And when we get to that, we'll kind of talk about it, because we kind of need to start treating them like that, really.
Yeah.
I might surprise a few people, that, especially if you know me, you're probably really going to be surprised by this answer. But and then we got our fan question of the week. Like I said, this is a pre-recorded deal, so we'll we're not going to give no results. I mean, I guess we could give you results, but they'd be 3 weeks late, because we do have 3 TVs on right now.
Right.
So resort number 1, Mars Modified qualifying at Brownstown Bullring. We got a car on top of the U-tire. Yeah. Dio Handyman Remodeling, crash of the B-Mod, number 33.
And they're just pushing sprint cars off at Knoxville for our qualifying. So but the B-Mod is a Dio Remodeling Handyman crash of the week. This would be good for somebody to go back and see exactly what time we was doing this.
Yeah. So this is. Yeah, because we'll just go and tell everybody. We're recording 84 and 85 before we record 83.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance I'm going to screw all this up. Yeah. Okay, there's a good chance all this is going to be screwed up.
You might get a couple repeat stuff. Over the next couple of weeks, but it'd be all right.
Yeah, I didn't, I hit the wrong button maybe.
Yeah.
I'm no technical wizard. I promise you that. Yeah. Hell, sometimes I forget to even refresh the computer in the middle of the interview. Isn't that right, Parker Perry? He can vouch for that. So, so we're gonna get started with car counts and special events and racing in general. This is something that Flash and I talked about in depth during Speed Weeks. We were like, are we racing too much, and how's it gonna go as the season goes on?
Right.
And I thought we would see more of this towards the end of the summer, not the beginning.
Yeah.
But as we're speaking, Devin Moran had to get a backup car out, and he had smoke rolling off underneath that last heat race when they went green. So Moran went to the tail. So we had two 6-car heat races, and now we're having 8-car heat race.
Right. Yeah.
So, Rigsby, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's reinvent the wheel here in dirt late model racing.
Right.
But all jokes aside, not really though. But all jokes aside.
Yeah.
So car count. It was no secret that Vic Hill and Volunteer Speedway had a massive paint event on off weekend. And it should have garnered some major car counts.
Yeah.
But it didn't. And that's okay, because sometimes that's just the way it is. But so much goes into car counts. And I don't know, did you see Cody? Here comes the train now, too. Yeah. Just so we let you guys know, the windows are open so I can breathe because of my allergies. So we're going to get the train. So like we're saying, a lot goes into car counts. And I don't know, did you see the Cody Early post that he posted, the Facebook video, where he's talking about, he went right at our buddy Justin Fiedler.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, I see some people that have a lot of followers that are, real high quality, and go figure. Just all of it. I'm going to call you out. Whoever just sent this, I'm going to call you out while we're recording. Joseph. All right, with American All-Star. Actually, Joseph, right now, with the crate racing American All-Stars, all right? The addition to the field might increase the views on Dirt Ridge TV this weekend at Richard Green. So I'm going to let everybody know what's going on. So that's a race that got rained out 2 or 3 times. The Dirt Ridge TV guys, we're going to let people know how this stuff works behind the scenes.
Right.
So that... And there's the train we were talking about. We knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so a little behind the scenes thing, we had another train just derailed and come through the house, it sounded like.
Yeah.
But a little behind the scenes thing, since I was being a smart ass and calling Joseph out, when we put these series together, we put the series schedules, and there's so much streaming involved, then we'll get back to the car count thing. But there's so much streaming and stuff involved. And so Richard Green at Dirt Ridge TV has, it's like him and 2 other people.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he'll be at a race himself, recording and doing the producing, the broadcast for the other place. Like a month ago when we were at Lake Cumberland, he was actually in West Virginia recording a race, and then had his laptop doing the producing of our event while he's recording the race on the laptop. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And, I was being a smart ass about Joseph interrupting our show, but, for this event coming up, Richard has got, because there's been some rainouts and some reschedules, he's got 3 people that covers races, and he's got 5 races to be to.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out, we're going to cover this event. We're going to cover, what event will have more viewers. Can we get somebody in the area, go back and record the event where we don't have to do the production live, and then we'll put it up the next day. So there's so much that goes on into this racing world. And every time people bitch about streaming, I want to say, guys, the streaming company is the last person you should be mad at, because they're working the most hours for the littlest amount of money.
Right.
Now, Flow and Dirt Vision, that's a little bit different. They've got a whole production company.
Right.
But when you're talking about Racing Dirt, Dirt Ridge TV, Start to Finish, Dirt 2 Media. When you're talking about those streaming services there, you're talking about usually a group of 5 at the most. Most time 2 or 3 that are traveling the country and doing a lot of this stuff off Wi-Fi hotspots and stuff, because these racetracks, most dirt tracks are in the middle of nowhere, guys.
Yeah, some of them you can't get service at.
So,
I mean, it's getting better, but still.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy what goes on to bring this event on. and for people to just turn right around and shit on it. Well, streaming's killing the sport.
Yeah.
No, these guys are working a ton of hours, and actually, they do more helping of the sport than they do hurting. Now, I will say, well, I better not say that because I got a couple things coming. All right, piss on it. I'll say it. I will say, from what I've been told, let's put it this way: I haven't seen no checks change hands.
Right.
But Dirt Vision pays extremely well for the World of Outlaw sprint cars. But the World of Outlaw late models and the Summer Nationals, it's not what people think it is.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Flow pays extremely well for the Lucas Oil late models, is what I've been told. And Flow owns the High Limit series.
Yeah.
And now they own the Lucas Oil series. So basically what happens is Flow determines that this stream is worth X amount of dollars for viewers. So they cut the racetrack X amount of dollar check. There's no negotiation. There's no nothing. They've got their set number. And if you go back and listen to the Steve Francis interview, he kind of gives us a breakdown of the percentage-wise. But USAC has their own personal deal. So USAC cuts their deal, works their deal out with the track, and then works their deal out with Flow. So if, let's just say, for instance, USAC says, every one of our tracks are getting $10,000 a night.
Yeah.
And, USAC tells Flow, hey, we need $15,000 a night. And then USAC gets the rest of the money. So, everybody's got their own deal. I don't know what the numbers is. I'm just telling you, that's a,
right, yeah.
Per capita or whatever. But people don't really understand. So, like, I don't think Richard would mind me saying this at Dirt Ridge TV. So, for a few series that I work with him, well, I'll talk about the Cumber Plateau deal because I know Matt's good.
Yeah,
Matt's good with whatever I say. Like on our deal with him is however many views we get a percentage of that.
Yeah.
So let's just say we get 500 views that night. Well, we get a percentage of that, and we have to work the deal out with the racetrack.
Right.
So if Racetrack X says, hey, in order for this race to be streamed, I need $2,500 from the series because I think that's what it's going to cost me staying home. First off, that's absurd, but we've had that situation.
Right.
That's absurd. But when the event is over, so we, basically the series will have to pay the $2,500 up front.
Right.
And when the event is over, they say, hey, we had 500 views. Your money is, we determined it's $1,200.
Yeah.
Well, Racetrack X just made $1,300 more on his show that obviously the people didn't stay home to watch.
Right.
And so, it's not that streaming is hurting the sport. It's everybody needs to, like, we need a smaller formula. Like, we need a better formula.
Yeah.
Because like on our end, there's certain nights, and in some racetracks we go to says, hey, I've seen the numbers. It doesn't, now we got a high speed chase going down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some racetracks are like, hey, I've seen the numbers. It doesn't matter. I know that 200 people are going to watch tonight. That's not 200 people that stayed home and watched. That's just because they have the app and they clicked on it.
Right.
So we probably only really lost 10 people staying home.
Yeah.
So, but that's how we weren't even going to talk about that, but since it came up, that's how the streaming works.
Right.
All right, Flash, I got a really good idea. Next time we're going to do some pre-recording. See, we're never home on Friday and Saturday nights.
Right, yeah.
We don't know what the hell goes on over here on Friday and Saturday nights. Apparently
it's crazy. There's a party on your street every night.
Yeah, it's like high volume. I mean, so apparently next time we do this, we're going to do this at like 2 in the morning when we get in from somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first Friday night I've been home thanks to a rain out. And quite some time.
Yeah.
Quite some time. So apparently there's a lot that goes on here. And D.O. Handyman Remodeling Crash of the Week number 2.
Yeah.
The 84 and the Rush Pro late models just decided to do some agriculture racing outside of turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And they said, well, they throw the caution for. Okay, another dude stopped on the front stretch.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, hey, he got back to the track. What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into car counts real quick. So, we're 20 minutes into talking about car counts, and we haven't even talked about it yet. So, Cody Early goes on Facebook, and first off, if you're a fan of crate late model racing, and you're a fan of the Cruiser crate late model racing, Cody Early started a Crate Racing USA podcast. Really, really good show every week.
Oh, yeah.
Talks about where the crate late models are going, the series they're running. So, I'm going to give him a shout out for that before I come in the other way. Yeah. But I'm gonna give him a shout out for that. He does a fantastic job on that, and his very first show, man, couldn't ask for a better guest. You think Crate Racing USA? You think, all right, we're gonna get our first guest, knock it out of the park. Guess who would you guess?
Crate cars.
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't know.
Chattanooga Flash, Ronnie Johnson.
Yep.
So really good interview. Go back and check it out. That was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Yeah, it was a good interview. But. So he goes on and he talks about we need more positive, and I agree with what he's saying. We need more positive in the racing community. But this is where I don't agree with. So there was a controversy about the price. It was $40 a night for the pay-per-view for Vic Hill stuff for 4 nights.
Right.
If you bought all 4 nights, you got them for like $32 a night.
Yeah.
But you had to buy the package up front. And he says, well, if you stayed home and watched it, you can't come to the racetrack for $40 because our pit admission was $45.
Yeah.
Which, hold on, 84 agriculture racing number 2.
Yeah.
This time in 3 and 4. So, at Delaware International Speedway. If you put a wall up, 84 would already been checked out for the night, bro.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be messing up your B mains, okay? So he said, you can't come to the racetrack for this and watch it. Because you got gas, you got general admission, and you didn't buy a hot dog or nothing. Which, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You can't. Even if you live in Bulls Gap.
Right.
It's, cost you $10 to get to the racetrack regardless, with fuel being $984 a gallon now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's driving back on after that one flash. He went Duke Boy style out of the racetrack, okay? So... what he said was right, but my caveat to that is, as a person, like right now we got 3 TVs on with 3 different style racing.
Yeah.
And we love streaming. We're advocate for streaming. Sitting here right now is not like being at any 3 of those racetracks.
Oh, no.
So, your experience isn't the same. So I don't think your cost should be the same. You can only... watch what like his justification. Well, I mean,
you can only watch what the cameraman's watching.
Yeah, you can only watch what the cameraman's watching. And we've had camera guys on and explain how the races are brought to us. So, but here's one thing that I won't say I got a problem with, because whatever we need to do to keep racetracks open, I'm all for it. So if Vic feels like, and we have Vic Hill on the show, Vic's super good dude. But if we have X amount of dollars that you think that you need for your event to be streamed, I don't think your streaming event, even though there's more money in it with technical side, because I just told you how much work it goes into it.
Yeah.
I don't think if you're going to stream per event, I don't think it should ever be more than what it costs to get in the gate for general admission.
Right. Yeah.
That's just my opinion, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
If you charge $25 general admission, it should be $25 a night to stream your stuff if you want to do it per event.
Right.
That way you can actually justify how many people did not come to your race and just stayed home and watched it.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to justify it by saying, we're going to charge $25, average person says $10, so it's going to be $35. I'm not real cool with that.
Yeah.
And the main reason is because it's not the same experience. It's just not.
Right.
But so they talk about car counts, and he said, well, everybody needs to be positive, and I agree. But there comes a time when being positive and being realistic is not. They're not going to run together. 28 cars for a race that essentially paid $135,000 to win.
Yeah.
There's no way that was a success.
No.
Absolutely no way whatsoever. And this is coming from a guy that, hell, a few weeks back, I drove in 40-degree temperature to a place that I knew was going to have 20 cars.
Right.
At best.
Yeah.
So I get it. But we're at a different part right now. We're at a part where fans' expectations versus reality, I don't know if we're ever going to cross that back. Now, when we have special events, to an extent, but we just paid $135,000.
Yeah.
The fans were, which I know Vic, because talking with Vic and people in Vic's circle, I know that they were fine that week.
Yeah.
They had some sponsors put money up, the bonuses and stuff. So they were okay with 28 cars. But if everything had to come out of pocket, that would have been a huge major flop.
Right.
But yeah, overall it's a good event. I'm glad they stepped out of the box and did something different. But so how's this work with local stuff, Flash? Well, here's the thing. So your nephew runs Brownstown Speedway on Saturday night. OB rad. Congratulations too, Brad. Going to become a father.
Yeah.
Congratulations from the Training Sliders crew. But so your nephew runs locally there at Brownstown. He runs the pure stock division. They average 24 cars to 30 cars. It's a pretty good car count. But the affordability of it versus, like, I've had somebody say to me before, why don't they just get rid of the super stocks? Because if you get rid of the super stocks, they'll get more modifieds. Well, no, not necessarily. The reason why you got super stocks is because the guys in the modified can't afford modified no more. So, and they can't afford to step up.
Right.
So, they drop down to super stock.
Yep.
Or, you start at Hornets and go to Crown Vics and pure stocks and super stocks. But car counts everywhere with the way prices are and as expensive as racing is it's going to be down. I mean, you're going to have good nights. Brownstown is probably one of the most supported short tracks in the country.
Oh yeah.
And they're still nice that they got 16 or 18 late models.
Yeah.
And there's other nights they got 35. So it's just I think everything is, when you're going to the racetrack in the days of, we guarantee there's 40 cars. I don't think that's happening no more.
No.
I mean, what do you think about that? Because
I don't think so either. I think there's so many series now too, and the guys are spread out a little more than what they used to be. We just kind of talked about that a minute ago. Right. You got like your touring series guys, but you're only getting there's probably really only 30 touring series guys total.
Across the country.
That's actually going to every race.
Divisions.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's funny because our fan question kind of involves that.
But yeah, and then like your weekly racing is just your car counts are low because there's all kinds of reasons just as far as fuel prices right now and just the price of tires and everything else going up. It's just, it gets to where you have to make a decision if you're going to race or if you're going to make your house payment.
Yeah, we're going to race or eat this week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, literally that's what it comes down to. So,
and the reason why I say this is too because car counts. That is one of the thing. Racers are their own worst enemies.
Oh yeah.
So every racer you ever hear, if they don't go somewhere, why is it? Well, it's because the race don't pay enough.
Yeah.
And then races pay enough where everybody should be there. How come you didn't go? Well, I can't compete with those guys.
Yeah, I can't race with those guys.
Well, hold on a second. I thought you didn't go last week because it didn't pay enough.
Yeah.
Because it paid $800 last week. Well, this week it pays $5,000. Now you're not going because you can't race with those guys.
Yeah.
So you can't have it both ways.
No.
But that's, I think car counts it's going to get to the point where I hope we're okay. We're sustainable. Like you said, we've. On the late model side, we've got probably 30 to 32 guys that do it full time for a living. On the sprint car side, same way. We got 30 or 32 guys. If we got 16 guys and we can pick up 10, I think that's going to be good.
And people have to remember the late model side too. You got crate cars that you didn't have 10 years ago, or 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah. There was no crate car. So if you ran a late model, you was running late models.
Yeah.
So now, and the crate classes most everywhere are doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So are decent anyway,
Well, here's a whole nother thing on that too. So this is, since we'll pull back the curtain, our second topic is going to get pushed to episode number 85.
Yeah.
Because where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
which will work out good probably.
Yeah. It'll probably work out all right. We might have it figured out by the time we get there.
Yeah.
But with with the crate cars. So the South and predominantly the South. Yeah. They were the first ones to jump onto the crate bandwagon.
Right.
And, we make fun and tease about having 10 different late model divisions. But you know what it does do? You can run a 602, and then you could buy shocks and an engine and move up because you already got everything else to a 604.
Yep.
Up, then you can move up to a limited, and then you can move up to a super late model.
Yeah. Or if you got a 604, you can blow your motor. You can find a 602 and change your shocks. And
go race. Yeah,
you can still race without having to spend a whole, whole nother bunch of money that you.
But one reason why I think Illinois still does so good because there's only like 2 tracks that run crate late models.
Yeah,
everybody else still runs late models.
Right. Yeah.
So you got guys in the mod division, and they get a late model and they just take their mod motor and put it in a late model.
Yeah.
So this is a whole nother worms we're going to open up. And this is going to be for another day. But how about we do away... I'm sorry, Vic, but how about we do away with the wide bore aluminum blocks?
Yeah.
And then we'll have cars everywhere because the mod guys are already spending ridiculous money on a late model engine.
Yeah.
So they let them put it in their damn late model.
Right, yeah.
So, it's one of those things that goes hand in hand. And
that's another. You just brought that up. Mods too. I mean, they got their motors so outpriced now. I mean, you got to have so much motor because they're hooking up so good with the shocks they got and everything else. I mean, it's just that, like you said, racers are their worst enemy.
They're the worst enemy.
That's it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I want this. What do you want that for? I want a good soft tire.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't race with those guys. They got big engines. Well, guess what? If you had a not so good hard tire, and these cars weren't glued to the racetrack, you wouldn't need that real big engine. So it's just it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So we're gonna move to this week's Bandit Race Cars fan question of the week. And it comes from Chris in Avon, Indiana, and we basically already answered your question, Chris, but we're going to answer it again.
Yeah.
Because yours was more specific based. He's in Avon, Indiana. With the addition of the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprint Car Series, isn't that hurting local 410 racing? Because we need to focus on local racing. We already have USAC.
Yeah.
Chris, now we just went and said there's probably too many series and stuff.
Yeah.
But in this situation, no, it is not hurting.
No,
because the state of Indiana has X amount, we'll just say 250 sprint cars.
Right.
Okay. And remember how we just talked about 12 guys running nationally? USAC's got about 12 guys that run nationally. Then they got guys that run the Midwest portion, the guy that run the West Coast portion. But if we did away with the Midwest Thunder Series and the old Midwest Sprint Car Series and the KISS King of Indiana Sprint Series, our guys would be racing local. And, you run Bloomington on Friday or Putmanville on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's all you get. Now you can learn how to race on the road with the Midwest Thunder Series. They travel a little bit. They hit down. They go to the tracks. Like, if you enjoy the USAC races at Red Hill Raceway, that's because Midwest Thunder was there and, made it successful.
Right.
So, the guys learn how to race on the road. And we need to gather everybody together. That's just my opinion. We need a...
Well, and the thing I notice about sprint cars, too, is those guys, when they... they're not afraid to go back to running just a regular show.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. They're not just like, I'm a touring series guy. I'm not going to do that. They don't do that. They go race where there's a race at. Yeah. They don't care.
Well, that's the thing.
So you're still going to get those guys. If they got a night off, there's no telling who's going to show up at your racetrack.
Well, and, about a month ago, I was at Circle City Raceway. And we seen Jacob Denny take his very first win.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. But our boy Tall ran 9th that night.
Yeah.
He won. He's a national touring guy. I mean, that's what he's doing for a living now.
Right.
So we need the Midwest Thunder Series. That's an airplane.
That's just a plane. Yeah. That's just a jet.
So, so we need that. No, it's not hurting local racing. Yes, we have USAC. But if we do away with the Midwest Thunder Series and the War Sprint Car Series, USAC's going to not benefit from that. They're going to hurt from that.
Right. Yeah.
Because guys will just stay in their little circle and won't get out and travel. So.
Yeah.
But we're going to get off here and catch up with this week's guest, Parker Perry, 9-time Flash. He's 15 years old.
Yeah.
9-time karting and quarter midget track champion, a national quarter midget track champion, and a 2-time HART Outlaw Micro Non-Wing Touring Series champion. at the ripe young age of 15, and he ran second. Well, he ran fourth in the Tulsa shootout to a couple guys named Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Emerson Axel.
Yeah.
So we'll just say he's the next big thing. Cause we kind of said that about Gunnar Setzer.
Yeah.
But Parker Perry's a little bit more versatile. Running crate late models.
Yeah.
/pro late models.
I told you watch him. I told you watch him in the late model. Yeah. He's gonna be one to watch here next.
Yeah. So
coming up.
So we're gonna get off here and catch up with North Vernon's own Parker Perry, and he drug his little brothers along. It's a family interview. So it was a good time. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, on this week's Trading Sliders Deep Dive. We have the young man out of North Vernon, Indiana. This is our take 2 for everybody, not because he screwed up, because if you follow along with the show, you know sometimes I screw up. I remember to hit record this time. It was just right after I hit power. But Parker Perry, how you doing, sir?
Good. Thank you for having me on here.
No, first off, this is cool. We got a bee flying here. This is definitely Indiana stuff here. We got bees flying around our head, but this is cool. We get to meet up here at undisclosed racetrack, so you can watch your little brother take his first lap. So before we talk about you, how cool is that to be here and kind of coach along little brother and tell him stay out of the infield and stay on the track?
Yeah, we came down here and just we got him fitted in the car last night. He ran junior sprints the last 3 years, I think. So first time in something new, and he got in the car and he was on the gas. First straightaway he got on the gas and he was wide open from there on out.
So is it safe to say that you might be in trouble?
Yeah. My dad always went on about how I just got right on the gas, and honestly, I wasn't expecting him to do the same thing. He got right on it, and he was not scared of it at all.
Well, that's good. Kind of runs in the family then, don't it?
Yeah, I guess so. So more stuff tear it up that way.
Well, that's all right. You can fix it. You got all week to fix it.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you're not tearing something up, you're not trying.
Okay, that's exactly right.
A few weeks ago at Ponderosa, you tried to tear some stuff up. Really.
Exactly. If the decking ain't hanging out of it, you're not trying hard enough.
Well, you tried. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to say it was your fault, but there were some people who said, what is this kid doing? I said, well, he was trying to get a good restart.
Oh, man.
You guys were the problem behind him. Y'all didn't stay in line.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a dumb mistake on me at Ponderosa, that's for sure.
But it happens, though. It wasn't but I will give you one thing. I'll give you credit on this, though. The top was working for you, and you decided, hey, I'm gonna be brave enough to take the top every time. You just misjudged the start, is all it was. Yeah. See, that wall's got an arc to it. You're used to going straight.
Yeah,
you know?
It's definitely a wavy wall in 3 and 4 at Ponderosa.
So you run. First off, let's give your backstory. If anybody knows, they watched the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout. We're going to talk about the shootout, even though you probably don't want to talk about it. We're still going to bring it up. But the Chili Bowl, they waived the rule, so they said, you know what, this kid's pretty good. Their words, not mine. I would have said decent because I seen you in a late model, so I would have went with decent. But they said he's pretty good. So we're gonna change the age limit. And first off, how cool is that? Because you're the youngest kid in the Chili Bowl history. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We had to get approved for that weighing under 16 years old, but. Yeah, we definitely didn't have the luck we wanted going down that week. We had, I think every time on track we had something else go wrong, but I don't know. It's still a cool experience, first time.
Well, and one thing, too, and being in that building, you've done a lot of cool stuff. 9-time kart champion, 2-time HART non-winning outlaw champion. First off, hold on a second. I know we can't really talk where we're at, but there's a few racetracks in central Indiana. Because we were asked not to talk about where we're sitting.
Right.
But I tell you one thing, we're sitting right here in the sun. It's beating on us. We can't talk about that, okay? But there are some racetracks right here not too far from your house. How awesome would it be to have Wednesday night micros somewhere around here?
That would be very cool. This track here, and I don't know, we don't have a ton of micro tracks insanely close. I think our weekly track that's the closest is US 24, which is about 3 hours away. So
yeah, that's a little crazy. And you picked up a win up there. We'll say a few weeks ago now, because when this comes out, it'll be a few weeks ago. What happened Saturday? How'd you start so far back? Did they penalize you for winning the night before?
So we went out there. I think we was quit time overall on hot laps, and then went out for the heat. draw for passing points. Started 4th. Was about 4 laps into the heat race. Was up to 2nd, right on the leader. Had a restart and got on the gas real hard and throttle cable broke. So started last row of the feature. It was rubber down around the bottom, and then made our way up to 7th. So last row to 7th, not bad.
Well, that's not terrible. That's one of those places. Friday night it looked really good because it had a little rain and a big curve.
Yeah.
If it's got a curve,
that's where
you're gonna be okay,
yeah.
huh? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So for people that don't know, he's 9-time go-kart champion, quarter midgets, go-karts. He's 2-time micro champion. And then not only is that, he's done some midget racing. Obviously, we just talked about, his first time ever at the Chili Bowl. And we're going to get back to that. We jump around a little bit. But just want to paint this picture for people. But not only that, he's we're going to say a part-time late model racer, because you got less than 15 stars. We're trying to figure out how many stars you got. We don't even know.
Yeah, it's a few.
Yeah, you got a few. All right. And so how do you, being such a young kid, well, I know the answer probably going to be you don't know. But how do you go mindset from, all right, I'm going to run a micro here at the 5th mile to I'm on the half mile in the late model? How does that mindset, because the cars drive totally different, and not only that, just the size of the car in general. I remember reaching in and talking to you there at Ponderosa. I said, hey, hell of a run, but this car is not quite as small.
Yeah, it's I want to be like Larson. He takes about 1 lap and then he knows which car he's in. He's the biggest thing is the steering input, and like the late model, you're steering over way more. The micro, you're just kind of on it. But I just want to be where I can take about 1 lap, and then I know what I'm doing. I'm back in the headspace I need to be in.
Well, that's easier said than done, because it'd be different if you've been doing this for, well, I guess you have been doing it for like 10 years, but you've been doing it since you was 5. But it'd be different if you've been in late models for a long time, because of the late model, and especially you running a crate late model, or hold on, if Joseph's listening, pro late model, he makes sure I say that. He makes sure I say that. But to keep the wheel spin, because you got to have so much wheel spin to keep that car pointed in the right direction, versus micro. I call it, it's kind of like running like a winged A-class micro.
Right.
You got to keep the wheel spin in the car to keep it going forwards.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, the late model, it's just, in the wing and non-wing cars, you can tell a big difference, and with the downforce and stuff, and just backing it in the cushion. It's so many different ways to drive all those different cars.
I'm fascinated about this. So when you're in the non-wing, so you're the non-wing micro, and most of the tracks you guys run at in this area are flat.
Yeah.
So it's different. Like when you go to Illinois or out to Port City, you get out there, you got some banking to lean on. But here in Indiana, the non-wing micros, they were big, then they went away, and now they're coming back.
Yeah.
But with the style of tracks that we have for the non-wing micros, it teaches you a lot of throttle control.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people think, well, it's the micro, you can just get in and gas it up. Well, that's fine if you got something to lean on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's going to help you if you decide to go to the late model route, because it teaches you a bunch of throttle control because there's nothing to lean on.
Yeah, a lot of the tracks up here, like Peru is the main one I think of, really flat. It's more of a circle. If you get around the bottom there, you're definitely, especially in the outlaw car with a little more horsepower, you're definitely having to throttle control it a lot more. And
you got to pedal it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
And well, let me ask you this, because you're here in Central Indiana, so your confines are a little different. But you race micro, and this is non-wing sprint car capital of the world,
right?
And I'll say this, and I'll be on this horse till I die. I know I announced for a late model series, I know I announced for a modified series, but non-wing sprint car racing is the greatest form of racing in general, everywhere. Period. There's no debate. I even got James Essex to agree to that, so we're good. But so, do you see your future, your path, sprint car racing, or is it late model racing? What do you actually see? Because where you're located, it's all sprint car world, but you're right here in North Vernon, so you're close to Brownstown. So there's late models around.
Yeah, that's one of the main questions I get asked all the time, and honestly, I could see that going so many different ways. Like, it just depends on if I pick up a ride, if this happens, that happens. It's just, my dad said if he's gonna fund the team, we're gonna go the safest route possible. So that's how we ended up with the late model. But if I get a sprint car ride, I might go sprint car racing. If I get a this or that, so I could see that going anyway, and I'd be fine with any way possible.
So you're open to anything.
Oh yeah, if it has 4 wheels, I'll drive it. I love racing. That's about it.
Yeah, that's so with your HART championship, so you got out and traveled a little bit, which is everybody needs to do that. But with going to the tracks in Illinois and running back and forth across the state, one thing I will say about you guys, it don't matter where it is. I mean, you guys will load the trailer up and go. You're not scared of putting no highway miles on. Yep. That's for sure. With racing, because where you grew up, you raced basically 2 or 3 micro tracks, so you race with the same group of people. Once you get out and start racing with other guys, how does that mindset change? Because you don't really know what they're doing when you get to the corner as you catch them.
Exactly, and all these tracks are so completely different, but that's my favorite part of racing is traveling and going to different places, especially in the late model and finding all these new tracks. Half of them I've never seen before, you know what I mean? I have to go watch a YouTube video on the way to the track and then figure out what it even looks like and stuff like that. But all these tracks, the banking, the dirt type, I mean, it just drives so differently everywhere you go.
Well, that's and your first couple of events this year, you started on the red clay there in Kentucky.
Right.
That's different than Bloomington's red clay, isn't it? It's not quite the same red clay, is it?
It's completely different. And Lake Cumberland and Ponderosa, they definitely have that red dirt, that red clay.
Yeah, that sucks for worse in the car, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Oh no, it's not the worst. No. Wait till you go down to South Carolina and Georgia and get some of that red clay. Pressure washers don't even help.
Oh,
it is the nastiest, stickiest stuff I've ever seen. But it slicks straight off. It sticks to the car, but don't stay on the racetrack.
Yeah,
it slicks straight off. Pedal control all the time. Now, well, first let's start at the Tulsa Shootout. So you go and run the Tulsa Shootout, running multiple divisions. Being in that building for the whole week, meeting the people that you meet, being introduced to, just the titans of the world. And one heat race, you're racing next to Kyle Larson. Next heat race, you're racing against a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So when you're in that, describe to kids that don't really understand how it is being in that building.
That building it's the greatest week of my life. I love the shootout, the Tulsa, just in general. That building, I see that building, I get goosebumps. It's the greatest thing ever, and you have heat race day rolls around, and so many different things can happen. You win one heat race, and yeah, like you said, you're starting to Larson, and then you're in the F main in the next class. So it can go any way possible.
Well, and the thing is, it's not only you got that problem. Larson's got that same problem.
Yeah,
and
right.
Christopher Bell's got that same problem. They're like, okay, stock non-wing. I'm starting on the pole tonight. Oh man, the outlaw non-wing, which I should be best at.
Yeah,
I'm 16th in a J main. So, but what people don't understand is though, that building. First off, the track is, built just right to produce the best racing. But just the talent alone in the building, it's crazy to think what all comes through that door that week.
Yeah, just everyone in there is so good, and you never know who's going to be good that year. Like, some years they'll go out and win, and then, like, I ran second the year before, and then I went out and didn't do very good this year. So it's so inconsistent, and but there's so much. You build so much name in that building, and that's the biggest part of it, really.
Well, and that's the thing. What people don't understand, and people, especially people from the stock car world, from the late model world, they're like, well, they're go-karts in the building. Well, first off, no, they're real race cars.
Right.
They're not go-karts at all. Yes, they are chain-driven, but that's just all that does is save everybody $2,000.
Right.
That's all that does. For the non-race car people out there, that just saves you a couple grand. Because we have the TQ midgets around here that are not chain-driven, and they cost $2,500 for a rear end. So you don't got to say that. I'll say that for you. But yes, they're real race cars. But what people, especially from the stock car world, what they don't really understand is, the competition and the focus, because hell, you might have to get up and race at 8 a.m. and then your next race is 11 p.m. in the next class. So, the focus it takes and the dedication for that week is hard, but it is it is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so much studying. I mean, when you're not racing, you're watching races and seeing what the track's doing, and that's what we noticed this year. The track was just completely different, and it was starting to get a little rough around the high side, and right under the cushion there's always a big rut. So you're just always watching, and you're up from 8 to 12. I mean, it's a long day every day.
Yeah, every day. And by the end of the week, you're like, man, I'm glad to go home. But before you get home, you're like, damn, I wish I was back there.
Yeah, exactly right. You're missing it. I mean, by the time you step out the building, you're looking behind you, and you're wishing you was already back.
So you're gonna do some D2 midget racing this year, which first off, I'm gonna get on a soapbox real quick. I hate that name. Why is it D2? We're just gonna do regional midget racing, okay?
Right.
It's not. They never called it D2 back in the day when I was growing up on Thunder. They called it Speedrome Regional Midgets. They didn't call it D2. So I don't know where that ever came from. I don't get that, but that's just a whole nother deal. So we're gonna change that. You're gonna do some regional midget racing stuff this year, all right? So what are you looking forward to most, and who are you going on the road with to do that?
So we're gonna be driving for Steve Gresham and the Steve Gresham driven Sweeties barbecue sauce midget, and it's something different. It's not completely different from the micro. Honestly, it drives pretty similar, but the whole starting the car, getting push started instead of the switch, starting it up in the clutch, and so that's the biggest part is off the track, honestly. And once you get on the track, I mean, it's right where I know where to race at.
Well, and the positive thing about the regional midgets, as we're going to call it, the positive thing about that is you get to go to big tracks, you get to go to small tracks, so you get to go to Eldora. Yeah. So that's always going to be fun. But you go from Eldora to Montpelier to Circle City to Putmanville, all the different style tracks that it molds you as a driver. It teaches you that, hey, what works here doesn't work there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's I wish we had more regional midget stuff, because you don't remember this. I mean, you're 15 years old, but when I was 15 years old, we had regional midgets on Wednesday and Thursday every week. Wednesday night, they ran the paved track at the Indianapolis Speedrome, and then Thursday, they ran 16th Street Speedway. Huh. So you got regional midget racing every week before you got to the sprint car stuff on the weekend. So that's how much times has changed, man.
Yeah, that's what... Pavement stuff would be fun, but
don't say that. Don't you?
It would be fun every once in a while. Definitely sticking to the dirt stuff. But
if you're gonna do pavement, you better do 500 sprint tour.
Yeah,
little 500. That's it.
Oh
don't be talking crazy over here.
That's some cool stuff right there.
Yeah.
But the D2 series or the
regional midgets. That's what they are.
There's so many different types of tracks. I mean, you got Eldora, which it's a non-points race, so I'm not old enough to go there. You have to be 16 in any car, so that's such to miss out on that. But you got Lawrenceburg, you got Eldora, you got Circle City. I mean, that's completely different, and there's so much variety of tracks. I think we go to Bloomington once or twice, and Paragon. I mean, there's so much different types of tracks there, and everything. So it's a whole different ball game everywhere you go.
Well, I said I was gonna talk about this Tulsa shootout thing, and we started talking about it, and we didn't. But I gotta get back to it. Man, you just about won a Tulsa shootout.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna let you describe what happened, and I'm gonna give a fair assessment from a guy that was paying attention. So we'll let you start with the story. So what happened at the Tulsa shootout? I thought that was yours to win.
I thought so too. We had a really good year, the 2024 year in the A wing, and I was like, I want a really, really high number here. Start at the back of the heat race, get a ton of passing points, and I think we drew 498. Sounds right to me, but I forget the code draw. Yeah, and we started dead last in the heat race, started 10th, and we picked them off and got up to 3rd, and it went green to checkered. So if we had a yellow, I think we could have got a few more spots than that, but went 10 to 3rd in the heat race. So we started. It was a 4-car invert in the qualifier. I think we was like 5th in points going into the qualifier. And we went 4-1 in the qualifier and won the qualifier. So it was really good there and about maximized our points. So started front row out of almost, 400, 500 cars. Which
it was like 444, 445 or something like that.
And so started front row, and I was shaking. I mean, until we went green, I was shaking. And it was
well, you should have said you was shaking when you come off the cushion. I could have understood why you did it then.
Yeah, but we got a... I don't know. On the start, we got a perfect start and got the lead going in turn 1. And I knew they just redid the track, so it was going to change, and I just needed to pay attention on when do I need to go up, when do I need to go up, and I stayed down. I think it was Emerson above me, jumped up, we made some moves there, and then I went back up to the top, and then we went back to the bottom, and we got battling with the two 71 cars, Clinton Boyles and Emerson, and they both went to the bottom at one point. I figured they'd slide themselves, and they ended up sticking the bottom. So I followed them to the bottom. And if we would have went to the top of that corner, I think, honestly, it could have been all she wrote. It could have been different, but I really, really anticipated with how hard they drove into the corner.
They couldn't stick it.
Oh, I didn't think they was going to, and they both did. Yeah, both of them, too. And they even touched, and that allowed Bell to get back to us. And, man, that just really screwed the race from there on out. And then I missed it, really, really missed it one of the times at 1 and 2, and that allowed Larson to get around me. And then that's what allowed him to put him in front of me, and that was the track position he needed.
All right, stop real quick. Stop. Now, did you just realize the 4 names you said that got around you?
Yeah, I mean,
hold on. Did you realize so we had Bell, we had Larson, we had Emerson, and we had Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, as a 13-year-old kid at the time, you can't even I wouldn't even know what to do because I would crash. Like, you know what? I'm gonna drive down there and get these. So when that happens, you're just you regroup. I mean, you didn't just totally shit yourself. You did. You regroup.
Almost.
Yeah. Okay. You had your mom had to clean your underwear, but still. So as we regrouped and went back to the top. How much have you gone back and watched that race back?
Oh, man, it's so often. And just looking at, I mean, on the way home that night, I'm looking, what could I have done here? What could I have done here? What did I need to do? And how could I have won that race is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And I've preached this a lot on this show for almost 100 weeks in a row, consecutive every week. I preach this a lot. A lot of kids don't go back and watch film. That's such a valuable tool that we didn't have when we were growing up racing. A lot of kids don't go back. They don't watch film. They don't study the track. They get to the racetrack. They go out and run their hot laps. And they sit in the trailer. They run their heat race. And they sit in the trailer.
Right. Yeah.
So, guys, you have to. It doesn't matter what division you're running. You can learn something from the Hornets. Well, I'll tell you one thing you can learn from the Hornets. If you have enough cautions, they're going to end the race soon enough. But you can learn something from everybody when you're at the racetrack. So please pay attention, all right? And then when I come and talk to you, you won't sit there and tell me, well, Bell went around me, Larson went around me, because you got to pay attention to what's going on. All right, finish the story. Sorry.
Yeah, and then on a restart, it's kind of behind Larson, and Larson was so good on the berm.
No way.
Good. So good.
The greatest race car driver ever was good. Come on. That's an analogy there. Dynamite drop in there.
I'm pretty sure in the Outlaw Wing race, he won right before that one. He was on the cushion the whole time. And then in A-Wing, he was just left front up on the berm the whole race. And I was so surprised by that, honestly. I figured he would be up around the cushion, and Yantis was better on it behind me, but I nailed it as hard as I could for the last 10 laps or whatever, and I couldn't reel him in. It was just the bottom was too good for him, and I don't know. I wasn't that good up top but late in the race.
Well, see, here's the thing. The kid that lives by the top, dies by the top, gave up the shootout on the top.
Yeah, right.
How does it, that's like the most unstorybook ending that you can. I could tell you, you're telling your little brother, hey, Paxton, listen, I was about to beat Kyle Larson. He's like, yeah, whatever. And you're like, no, I'm serious. And he's like, yeah, okay, bro.
Yeah.
So how fun is it to have your brothers at the racetrack with you?
Oh, yeah.
Because, I know they're into it now. First off, I don't know how your dad does it. He's a glutton for punishment.
He's broke.
Yeah, he's broke. And broke.
Yeah.
Not only is he pulling his hair out, he's broke too. How much are you involved in their career? How much are you say, hey, knucklehead, you got to roll the corner here. And does he get out and give you a DX crotch chop? So how is the family at the racetrack? Because I see you guys interact. There's no... you guys might beat the hell out of each other at home, but at the racetrack, you seem all right. So how is it?
It's so nice having the junior sprints and micros running together. So it can really, I've tried to really take over the coaching where I've been in their shoes before, and I've ran those tracks, those cars. So I try to help them as much as I can, and every time they come off the track, I'm like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and so it's nice, and I try to teach them everything they can be taught,
Yeah, well, they don't listen. So basically,
No.
what you're saying, so they're not like you, because I'm sure you just listen to everything Dad says, right?
No.
I was gonna say, I sure hope not. I sure hope he didn't point you to the wall at Ponderosa. I'm gonna say, I hope he was, telling you, what are you doing? How many times you come in and first off, you get to run sticks in late models, which another thing we're not going to. I'll get fired from my announcing duties. Joseph, if you're listening, let's do away with the sticks. But I mean, you come in now, and Dad's got weapons, put knots on your head. It's not like running the micro,
Yeah, that's what. Honestly, I've been begging my dad. We need to get a pair. We don't even have a pair of sticks.
Well,
yet,
that's good then. No, that's good. You don't need to be looking at nothing but the cars in front of you.
Yeah, right. And that's it. Honestly, that's what I tell him. I said, you can use your sticks under yellow, but I don't look at you under green really, unless you have a big glow up pair. I mean, I'm not looking under green. I'm focused on the track, and
I'm too busy running into the wall in turn 3. Don't worry about me, okay?
But I don't know how people do it, honestly. And you see some of them micro weld and stuff. They're just using their fingers. I don't know how they pay attention to that, honestly. Rolling past them as fast as they are.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think. I don't know. Once you do it enough, it slows down enough. And the thing about the sticks is, it's at the same. Here, I'm gonna expose the stick secret. So you got to have the same person on the sticks at the same time at the same spot at every racetrack. So if you can't be looking for the sticks going in turn 3 at one track and outside of turn 1 the other,
right?
Because as yourself, as you're trying to hit your marks, it's hard to look to the right when you need to on corner entry, anyways.
Yeah.
If you got a stick guy, I'm gonna tell you the best spot. Usually it's going in turn 1 or going in turn 3 on the inside, but usually it's turn 3 on the inside because turn 1 on the inside is where all the starts and restarts are.
Yeah.
So if you got your guy, if your dad wants to do sticks, you have him inside turn 3. He can let you know with your signals how they're restarting. If inside turn 1, you can't pay attention to that because you're restarting. Just if you guys do decide to. All right, a little technical difficulty there. We're 2 for 2 on this one, knocking it out of the park. But if you are using sticks, all right, that's where we was at. We was at the stick part. Right. If you are using sticks, make sure it's on the inside of turn number 3 down the backstretch, because of the restarts. Because if you have multiple restarts and you just try to rip the top in 1 and 2 and it didn't work, the guy pedaled on the bottom, you can chop going in or slide or slide yourself, the little tricks. But yeah, but your stick guy can let you know how they made the ground up on you on the backstretch with the top or the bottom stick. So that's where that's where your dad needs to go. But we don't. You just worry about going in front of you.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we're worried about right now. So this year we're running the midget, we're running the late model, we're running the micro. How many races are we going to go before Dad goes belly up? Because your little brothers are running too. So how many races are we going to get in before we start actually looking for a ride? I mean, what's the plan?
Well, I mean, I'm open to rides all the time, but we're going to race as much as we can until we either go broke or the year's over. So that's a damn good goal to have. I mean, that sounds like me every year. I'm going to go to as many races as I can until I'm either broke or the year starts or speed week starts. Yeah.
and then we're gonna try to do it again. So do you like the late model? Is it something that you enjoy? Because all your racing has been low to the ground, straight axle go-karts, quarter midgets to micro sprints. Late model is a totally different beast. Do you like the late model, and do you like all the adjustments you got, or would you rather just have the one bar and go?
Yeah, I love it. It's completely different, so it's kind of a really 50-50. Was I gonna hate it? Was I gonna love it? And I love it. It's something completely different, and there's something to learn every week. And all the tracks like Brownstown, there's nothing to really lean on. Can't just go to the fence, and so I don't know. It's a ton of stuff, always learning, and no, I don't like all the adjustment. We're not that set up good yet on the late model. There's so much more stuff you can do, and the micro will put a little bit in the shock or out of the shock or whatever. We'll move the spacing, and I mean that's about all we do. And other than that, we leave it at how it is. And the late model, there's so much adjustment. We're so far behind, and that's the biggest thing we're behind on is setup stuff.
Well, then that's where you just got to make it up driving.
Yeah.
I mean, Dad can only do so much. Yeah. He can't drive it from the infield, okay? Mm-hmm. He can only do so much. And I'm going to put it this way. You can't always blame the setup either.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I've seen you run 40 laps and, your first 22 is good. Do you start driving the wall? So you can't blame it on him there. That's on you.
Honestly, yeah, I've had many complaints. Honestly, I can't remember the last time we went out there in the late model and I said the car was way off and stuff. We've been pretty close, almost every time on track, and yeah, not bad really for being or not knowing as much as everyone else really does. We're not that far off of a setup wise, I feel like.
No, I think you did just good. Like I said, I was really. I don't want to say surprised, but at Ponderosa there was a stout field of cars that night. 40 plus cars and. You're throwing sliders on the Marlers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're a young kid, so you don't realize it right now. But some of the guys that you were racing against and making the moves you were making, like Jeff Watson's won, I think 10 or 15 track championships. Like Dad's in the Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame. Like there was it was a good field of cars and. Like I said, I was really and Ponderosa's not really easy to get around.
Yeah,
it's a little tricky. Takes it for somebody who knows. I've hit every wall there. I'm giving you crap about it, but I've run into them too. So.
Yeah, it's at Ponderosa, and we went there. I think it was the week or 2 weeks before that, and it was completely different. It was about through the middle, on the bottom, and then there was about a cushion, and he was up on the wall. Last week we was there, and I seen Cardwell sign in, I seen Marler sign in. I was like, oh crap, here we go.
Yeah, we're only racing, Arrington, Cardwell, Marler. These guys, Cardwell builds the race cars for a living.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So that's the cat I'm racing against tonight. But you held your own. Honestly, if the caution would have came, I'm gonna be a Parker Perry defender here. If the caution would have came out a lap earlier, I don't know if Cardwell would have got by you. But you did learn a little something about aero tight. It's not like a micro. You can't run up on the back of somebody and then turn under them because that cost you the lead that race.
Yeah, I've found that out a few times, and you can definitely feel it for sure. And we was deep in lap traffic at that point when I lost the lead. I think it was about 3 wide in front of me. I was going above him, under, and through the middle of him. I think we was 3 wide with the lap car when he ended up getting around me. So it was really tight racing, and I don't know. I think I needed a yellow a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well, at least would have calmed your nerves a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because but one thing I will say, and I appreciate it as a fan. See, for me, it's kind of hard because when I'm announcing the races, I got to be professional, but also. I'm not professional, as you can tell. So I got to be professional. But one thing that I like is you drive the late model like it's a sprint car. That's because you're 15, you don't know no difference. But as you catch a guy, you're sliding. Right. Where in the late model world, those guys know how important it is to keep your momentum up. Where they'll back down to catch the guy in the right spot to turn under him, and you're like, oh no, full send, baby. So I appreciate that as a fan. But as you get a little, maybe when you're 16, you'll figure it out. Or Paxton can come over here and show you how to do it because we know he straight was talking to crap. He was like, I'm going to be better than him. So you might want to watch what you coach.
Yeah, I mean, might not teach him all my secrets, I guess.
So you guys play World of Outlaws on PlayStation or Xbox?
Yeah, all the time. Payson's more obsessed with the PS5. He gets on the World of Outlaws game all the time. We got iRacing, so me and Patterson is on iRacing nonstop. Where Payson's on the World of Outlaws game, and I think
see, I'm agreeing with him, man. That iRacing, I can't mess with it. It takes too long to load.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't got 30 minutes to wait for the next race. Mm-hmm. Like if I wreck, I just want to hit restart and start over.
That's right. It's definitely teaches you don't have the restart button. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I know I give kids a hard time, but I was a PlayStation kid. We played the original World of Outlaws sprint car game, the very best game ever made to this day on any device whatsoever. The World of Outlaws 2002. I'll go down and say, you guys. We got a crotch rocket here ripping somewhere. I'll go down and say this: the World of Outlaw 2002 was the best video game ever made, and they haven't made anything even resembling Graphics a little better, sure. Gameplay, negative.
Right.
100%, nothing since then.
We
and
had,
that's a fat old guy saying that, but still, the game's better.
We had one of the older ones on
hold on,
PS2.
Oh my, bro, no, you had the original. Don't say old. Like we don't say D2. We say regional. We don't say crate. We say pro. So don't say old. I'm sitting right here. No. I mean, I've been known to smack a kid. I coached basketball for a few years.
It's only a few years old.
A few oh, my God.
I couldn't remember if it was
It was older. It was older.
If it was the 2002 or if there's other ones since then. But it was definitely one of the more original ones on the PS2. I remember them days.
Yeah, that's the real one. That's the only one. Yeah, that's the one you can knock your wing off and then go non-wing racing. So me and my brother would do. We go to Bloomington. Now, see... Paxton, you pay attention, okay? Y'all gonna do this when you get home. So we go to Bloomington, and then we would clip the tire and turn our car over on purpose. And in the first lap, and we just race each other around the other cars because we knock our wing off. So you're doing the wheelies, and we race each other. So honestly, we were racing for 20th and 21st, but we were racing for the win because we were non-wing racing at Bloomington because that's how we grew up. That's what we was doing.
I don't know if I've seen a Bloomington in one of them World of Outlaw games in a long
time. Oh my! You gotta play the original, 2002, the old one, as you said. As I'm sitting right here,
they need a lot of the tracks, like local tracks. They need a lot of them put back in the World of Outlaws game. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, the original World of Outlaws, Bloomington and Chico. Yeah. It was on. We never called it Chico because we always said that was Gas City. That's what we did. Yeah. That's our Gas City and that's our Bloomington. And then you had Terre Haute on there too.
Yeah.
So. You haven't got to run Terre Haute yet, have you?
No, and that'd be cool. I don't know what I'd even...
Hold on a second. You just said your dad was almost broke. We don't want to go that big place.
Yeah, if I'm racing there, that's when I get it right.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody needs a sprint car, late model, modified, school bus driver, he's good for anything. But Dad said, we're not taking my equipment yet.
Yeah.
He's seen you on the little tracks with the walls. He's going to keep you off the big track. Yeah, that decking turns into a rear clip there. Yeah. You don't just knock the decking off, all right? All right, so what's the goal this year? We set a goal for ourselves. We got, 5 wins, 10 wins, 30 wins, or make sure Paxton wins. What's the goal? I mean,
yeah, a little bit of all of that. I mean, as many wins.
All of it. I mean, so you want 80 wins?
I mean, yeah, as many wins as I can get and win every car I drive. That seems like a good one for me. I haven't really thought about that, but just winning every car I sit in, and at least one time, and just pick off as many as we can. So it started off. We got one, and it's like late April, so. Slow start,
but it's not really that bad because of the way the weather's been.
Right.
I mean, you probably only ran 10 outdoor races. Maybe. Yeah. So that's not. Indoor season don't count.
Right.
Unless you win it.
Yeah.
And now if you don't win, those don't count. I mean, that's just prep.
Yeah.
And if you win it, then you talk about it all year.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Indoor season, we're gravy.
That's practice.
Yeah, that's just practice. Yeah. So, do we do anything else? We play any other sports or anything, or just strictly racing?
No, it's racing. Racing.
Well, I could tell you wasn't no hooper. I could tell when I walked up here you wasn't no hooper. Your shorts were too short. They were too short to be a hooper. That's for sure.
Yeah, I playing around in PE and stuff. I figured that out. I figured that out. I'm not a basketball player.
You're not a basketball player. All right. Paxton, a basketball player?
I don't know. Well, I don't know yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe.
Come here for a second, Paxton. You're gonna make your debut right before we get off here. All right. I mean. A timely matter, maybe.
Yeah, right?
All right, so you got to talk into this, okay? You can't talk into this headphones. That's rule number 1, okay? So, I know older brother, we're going to say pretty good, okay? Can we say pretty good?
Yeah, but I'm just better.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm liking. All right, so you're going to be better than older brother, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on. We got to talk into this. All right, we're going to try this again. You see, now I had my own editing problem because I didn't turn the computer all the way on. So, but now you're not even talking into the mic, so we're going to try this again. So, are you going to be better than Parker?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. Are you going to teach him a few things?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah? Can you help him with the late model?
Yeah.
What's the number one thing he's got to do when he's racing his late model?
Don't mess up your deck.
That sounds like a guy. Hold on a second. You got to put the rivets in the bottom, don't you? Yeah, that's 100%. That's the guy that's crawling.
You can just tell, can't you?
Yeah, you're the one crawling underneath, putting the. You got to. tell him to get the exploders so you don't got to get in there and hold the washer. You're good. Just get the exploders. So he's got to keep the deck in it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's pretty good. That's a pretty good rule. And then anything else you got? What's some more advice you got for him? You got to give him some kind of advice.
Stay out of the wall upon your wrestling.
Well, that's for damn sure. That's given.
Oh, try not to embarrass yourself by running the wall again.
Yeah, well, that's a good goal for any time we go to the racetrack. Try not to embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's really a big one. I mean, just not embarrassing yourself goes a long way.
Well, here's this. Not only Paxton's not worried about you embarrassing yourself. Try not to embarrass him.
Yeah.
Because he's the one there that's standing there that got to put the rivets back in.
He's the rivet guy.
Yeah, he's the rivet guy. So, all right, well, we appreciate you coming on. But before you get off here, I always put people on the spot. Who helps? You're going to be pretty good at this because you already named off a few sponsors. But besides Mom and Dad, all right, we make sure we say them.
Yeah.
Because if not, none of you guys will be racing.
Yeah.
Paxton, you don't go too far. We're going to get you on this too. We're going to see if you learned anything. So, who helps get up and down the road after Mom and Dad? You make sure you say them.
Yeah.
But after that, who helps make this possible? And if you screw up, he's sorry, and then I can edit it back in, so it don't matter. So go ahead.
Yeah, obviously Mom and Dad. I mean, none of it would be possible without them. And on the late model side, my grandpa, he's there every time we're touching the late model. He's there helping. So that's really, really came in handy. I mean, he's there every week. We're in the late model. It's very nice to have him. And then Sweet D's barbecue sauce, Watch the Lead Shred, Southern Indiana Dent is a big one. And, I mean, everyone who helps. I mean, everything helps a little bit. It's so nice to have everyone come on board and help for this long season.
Well, if you want merchandise, this is what I forgot.
Right.
You can reach out to Parker Perry Racing. He's on Facebook. They got a website and all that stuff. Now, Paxton, it's your turn. All right, we're practicing because we're going to US 24 this week, next week. When we going to run our first our first race, our first restricted race?
Probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Hopefully. He's hoping tomorrow, but I don't know if
Where are we going tomorrow?
Miami County.
Okay, yeah. So tomorrow, you win your first race, okay? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to practice right now. We just got done. Our winner, you want me to do like announcer voice or just talk voice? Announcer voice? Okay, you want sprint car announcer or late model announcer?
Sprint car.
Okay, sprint car announcer. All right, here we go. Now you better hold your end of the bargain up, okay? If you screw this up, me and you gonna have problems. All right, well, we're gonna do it right now. All right, so hold on. What's your number?
Number 1.
Number 1. I like it. You just go, right off the bat, you're gonna let them know you're number 1, right? Okay. So number 1 was it because you're a Kyle Larson fan?
No.
All right. Hold on. First, let me ask you, who's your favorite driver?
Corday.
Hey, okay, that's not a bad one.
Unique.
But also, you just watched him win 2 nights ago. So that if maybe somebody didn't win this week, who else would you like?
Christopher Bell.
Okay, well, I was going to say,
that was it.
He just keeps saying everybody that drove past you. I mean, you can't pick your brother.
Yeah,
he's coaching you.
Oh,
Crew
yeah.
chief.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, we're going to practice this right now. You live in North Vernon too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just double checking because you never know. Indiana people a little backwards. All right. So your winner for tonight's feature out of North Vernon, Indiana. You ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You look like you're ready. Paxton Perry. Who do you got think?
Sweet D's Barbecue, Watch Electric,
Oh my
my mom,
goodness.
my dad.
Hold on, stop. Time out. We're going to do it again. Okay?
Southern Indiana Dent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen.
that one.
It's Mom and Dad first.
Okay.
All right, then go to your sponsors, and then you want to thank Parker for making sure he's coaching you and helping you. All right, we're going to back this up one final time, okay? All right, so we're at Miami County when we won, or actually we don't hit curfew there, so we might be US 24 right now because as long as it took you to get through the interview here. All right, so Miami County feature winner, his very first career feature win out of North Vernon, Indiana. See, like that's how they do the Chili Bowl, isn't it? Yeah, out of North Vernon, Indiana, Paxton Perry. Who you want to thank makes this possible?
Southern Indiana Dent.
Stop.
I said it wrong.
Mom and Dad.
Mom, you got to start with Mom and Dad.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, all right. One more. It's take 3. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really going to work on my editing skills here. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, now he's done one of his third feature, guys. Okay, this is his third feature win. We gotta change up racetrack. Maybe we're at Circle City now.
Yeah.
All right, they're running Circle City because the weather got rained out, so they're gonna run Circle City. So the feature winner tonight out of North Vernon, Indiana, Paxton Perry. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, Parker, Southern
Indiana Dent. Let's go. We're good.
Yes. Sweetie's Barbecue and Watts Electric, and everyone else that just helped up on this car.
There you go. You want a little tip though?
Yeah.
This is real easy.
Yeah.
Every time you thank somebody, just take one deep breath, and then that gives you time to thank the next one, and then thank the next one. All right? You're not trying to rap, okay? You're not up here. Well, you're up here in the country, so you probably don't know who no rappers are. We're not playing Fortnite, okay, bro? We're not trying to do it as quickest. But we appreciate you guys coming on, making time for us. Reach out to Parker Perry Racing. They will get you taken care of. Paxton may even have some shirts here lately. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know, if he can keep it out of the infield and keep it on the racetrack. That's the main goal. Because you know what you don't want to do, Paxton?
What?
Embarrass yourself. You just told him.
Yeah, come on.
But the young man has got a bright future, and he's got a little brother. He's actually got two little brothers here. You want to come and say hi? Come on.
Hi.
All right, who are you going to think when you? So you're the one that plays the PlayStation, right? You don't like iRacing?
I do, but I just don't play it.
They don't let you, do they? They're mean, aren't they? I can just tell they pick on you a little bit. All right. So who do you want to think? Are you going to race too? I know he races juniors.
Yeah.
So,
my mom, my dad. I already messed up.
No, do it again. Come on, we got all night.
Sweet D's.
My mom, my dad, Sweet D's Barbecue.
Southern Indiana Dent.
Robin Joe's.
Southern Indiana Dent.
Southern Indiana.
Good enough.
Yeah.
And everyone else that helps me.
There we go. The Perry brothers. What was that?
I'm pretty sure he just copied me.
Hey, that's what you got to get it down. But the Perry brothers, check them out on Facebook, Instagram. Oh yeah, they're on TikTok now.
Yep. Yeah. Paxton started a TikTok page. He's been begging to do that.
There you go, Paxton. You see. I think Paxton might have. He might
Media
be the one.
guy.
Yeah, he might be the one figuring it out. You're running into the wall, and he's figuring out TikTok. So yeah, Dad's going to need a few more sponsors. If you got anybody, if there's anybody in Southern or Central Indiana that wants to help out a good family, reach out to them. They're going to need the help getting up and down the road because we got 3 knuckleheads here that don't mind driving into the wall. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, Flash. That was Parker Perry and his brother Paxton, and the other brother I think was Paston. I don't know. They're probably gonna kill me. I butchered the youngest one's name.
Yeah.
But that was a fun time up there. We caught like I said, we caught up on them at the racetrack, and they were doing what they do every weekend. And one thing that I find really fascinating about Parker is, like I said, he's a 15-year-old kid, and the Chili Bow made a rule where he could run because you got to be 16 to run the Chili Bow.
Oh,
and they looked at his driving resume and watched him throw sliders on Larson and Bell and have car control and said, "All right, bro, you're good." They changed the rule for him. The kid, to be such a young kid, he talks like he's in his mid-20s. Real respectful, but really understands what it takes to be good in the sport, and I think he's going to be a superstar. And what I like is he said, "I don't care what kind of car it is, sprint car, late model, modified, midget, mini sprint, go kart. If it's got 4 wheels and it's good equipment, and you call me, I'm not only am I going to race it, I'm gonna try to win the damn thing." Like it's like this kid understands what it takes. And it's not like he's racing in the easiest divisions. He's running the whole USAC D2 midget series this year. So he's running that whole deal. He's on he's running a lot of the American All-Star Kart late model stuff.
Yeah.
So he's a kid that you gotta pay attention to him because this kid can flat out wheel a race car. And the crazy thing is, they say his little brother might even be better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he has no fear. First time they put him in a full-size micro sprint, he just ran out there wide open, never even lifted, like he was in a junior sprint still. Wide open. So we're getting into this week's upcoming events. We're going to start off with our racetrack spotlight. Our racetrack spotlight, brought to you by JT's Trackside Catering. I don't really know what name it goes under anymore. So is it Indianapolis Raceway Park or Lucas Oil Raceway Park?
Yeah.
I don't know what name it goes under, but I'm gonna call it Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Yeah.
The home of ESPN Thunder.
Yeah.
The All-Star National Pavement Midget Series, race number 1 for the year, is at Indianapolis Raceway Park. If you've never been there, I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
And you've seen it on TV. The NASCAR trucks have been there. What do they even call them now? Not the Xfinity, not the Nationwide.
I have no clue, dude.
Yeah, the other series, the one underneath the Cup.
Yeah.
The Busch Grand Nationals is what we're going with. Yeah. You've seen them race there, all the ESPN stuff. But if you have not been to a midget race at Indianapolis Raceway Park, I know midgets on a 5/8 mile doesn't sound intriguing.
Yeah.
But it is one of the most craziest things you'll ever witness. Flash and I made it up there for a bunch of the night before the 500s and stuff.
Yeah.
And watching midgets barrel off into turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4 wide. And
they get just kind of fun watching them because, man, they get kind of shaky in the front end about halfway down the straightaway.
Yeah, they're darty.
And
they're sliding. Yeah.
It's pretty neat to watch those guys.
But yeah, it's the home of the U.S. Nationals, the big drag strip there, and they have a road course. And actually, if you get there on time, like we seem to never do, you can park on the other side of the road course and be right there where you go in the pit gate.
Yeah.
But if you get there like we normally do, you get to park in turn 17 of the road course out off in the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a super neat place. You just got to go one time, especially if you grew up like me, a Thunderhead, watching all that stuff. As we've talked about many times, you need to go to Indianapolis Raceway Park to see the midgets. I understand if you've been there and seen other stuff, but if you haven't seen a midget race there, you need to check it out. And then Friday night, Bloomington Speedway has the 410 non-wing sprint cars, the TQ midgets, and the lightning sprints. Friday and Saturday, Lucas Oil late models got a doubleheader in the Illini State. Friday night, $25,000 to win at the Farmer City Raceway. And then Saturday night, Flash, guess where they're going?
Yep, Fairbury.
The America's Racetrack, Fairbury American Legion, $30,000 to win for the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. You can find that on Flow. Then Friday and Saturday, the Spring Nationals make their way to the Bluegrass State. Ray Cook, Schaefer's Oil Spring Nationals, Friday night, Ponderosa Speedway, $7,500 to win. And then Saturday night, the Lake Cumberland Speedway, $10,000 to win there for the Schaefer's Oil Spring Nationals. And then Saturday night at Sonoya Raceway, the Southern Thunder Super Dirt Car Series, making a big headway. They had 2 races this year, and I think they had 46 and 41 cars show up. So we're talking about car count struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Southern Thunder at Sonoya. Sonoya's car count is always up, and this is a $10,000 to win event. So Sonoya Raceway, Southern Thunder, $10,000 to win event. And then we're going to finish the weekend off with Friday and Saturday. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm going to be out the country as this is a pre-recorded show. But Friday and Saturday, the High Limit and the All-Star Circuit of Champions, combined at the Kokomo Speedway. 2 nights. The Driven to Save Lives double shot there at Kokomo Speedway. You can find that on Flow. If you've never been to Kokomo Speedway, it's a must go. Wing sprint cars, non-wing sprint cars, late models, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, everything races good there.
Yes, it is a must go. That was it on this week's show. You got anything, Flash, before we get off here? And we're going to try to record another one of these.
Yeah.
And not be so all over the place.
That's
the goal.
I'm pretty sure how that's going to go.
So you don't think it's going to go good? All right. Okay, well, do you got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. Just try to get to one of these races, man.
Oh, I guess I probably should have put this in the opener again. I probably need to take better notes. That's probably what I need to do. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us on the Midweek Slider. It's growing every week. It's kind of like we said, it's our ghetto version of Dirt Tracker Daily.
Yeah.
It's done right there in my garage. So that's when somebody asked me, "Where do you get that cool backdrop?" I said, "Bro, that's just That's a sheet of aluminum with a sheet hanging over it. That's what that is. That's that cool backdrop.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys hanging out. If you see our stuff, we got a lot of stuff on YouTube. Share it out if you don't mind.
Like it, subscribe.
And please subscribe. That's because just like. Well, I don't know what last week's was.
I mean, if everybody subscribes, they can quit having to listen to us talk about it.
Yeah. and it don't cost you nothing.
The subscribing part.
Yeah, the subscribing part. Yeah. Well, because we're still going to talk about something.
Yeah.
But until next time, we'll be trading sliders.